This portion of Lifestyles is sponsored by Gary Price, elder law attorney.
And Gary Price is here. We're talking about Medicaid, as we so often do, and we're thinking about the planning stage. And it's a question that I have, certainly at my age, is when do you need to start planning for Medicaid?
Well, you know, planning means different things. And it means different things to different people depending on what stage they are. Right? So if you got a loved one that's going into the nursing home next week, planning's an entirely different conversation than if you've got someone who's got time. But mainly planning is, we're talking about how to shelter assets, shelter as much assets as we can, consistent with law, of course, and then how to make things easier for family. That's part of the planning process. And a lot of times, you know, when we think about planning, we think, okay, we got to do this step, this step, this step.
Of course, I mean, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
But not necessarily. It's also, planning can be knowing when to begin taking steps. Maybe you don't need to take steps. A lot of times I meet with clients and we're planning for Medicaid, but there's no steps to take right now. Depending upon, you know, on your particular financial situation, there may be no steps to take right now. But what's important is for you to know what are the signs, so now it is time to start taking steps. So
those signs are?
Well, you know, it depends. If there's, you know, if it looks like nursing home or Medicaid is in the future, that's a sign.
Now, we're talking about nursing home as rehab or all the other services that can fall under that facility?
If we're talking about nursing home as a facility as rehab, a lot of times Medicare will take care of that. We don't need Medicaid. Okay. But also a lot of times Medicare stops the rehab. They've gone the limit, and now it's either private pay or Medicaid. And so in that situation, if you're going in for rehab and it's a certainty that you're going to be there for 10 days and go home, maybe Medicaid's not ready yet. On the other hand, if it's uncertain, it clearly is there is a sign right there that we need to start talking and planning for Medicaid in the event Medicare stops rehab and you got to stay there. You're not ready to go home yet.
Well, and you can just, you know, of course you know more than anybody, because this is what you deal in every day, how confusing that is, and how many people, I'm sure, confuse Medicaid and Medicare, or they think it's all the same thing. Mm-hmm. And they just like kind of delineating what that really is.
There's a learning curve there, and as you brought up the example of you're in a hospital and then you go to rehab, and there's a learning curve as to, okay, Medicare's covering it, my Medicare supplement, it may be taking care of some, but then at some point it stops, and then what do we do? And what do we do is Medicaid is the only thing that protects after that. Otherwise, you're private pay. So
when you know, George and I come in, we don't need it right now, but we start thinking about it. Is there a step to take, or just to get it on our radar?
We start doing the inventory of assets, right? And there may be some steps to take. It may be simple. It may be as simple as you have an insurance policy on each other, a life insurance policy, and maybe we want to change just the ownership of it. It may be something as simple as that. And I bring that up because that one creates more problems for more people, because that's not a simple task. If you come to see me and you got that insurance policy and we need Medicaid in a couple weeks, it's not likely you're going to be able to get that transferred in a couple weeks. Changing ownership, that's a process. So maybe something like that, as easy as that, let's start on it now, get it out of the way. That goes to the category of maybe sheltering assets, but making it easier for the family as well. So just little things like that, and it just depends on what you have and what your estate looks like in determining what steps need to be taken now, what steps we can wait for.
Well, you've got the book in your hand, and this is how you get it. What's the phone number, Gary?
You call my office, 812-475-8444. We send you a free copy.
Free copy. Gary Price. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
This portion of Lifestyles is sponsored by Gary Price, elder law attorney.